All right. What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Dominick Arena, the GOAT, and I'm hanging out here with Miss Chris. Say hello.
Hi.
And if you guys have watched this YouTube channel before, I've done stuff in the past where I've done like just real quick reviews on products, basically just using my smartphone to shoot some video. I've posted live performances from places I've played at, and I've even done some couch sessions, just sitting on the couch playing acoustic guitar. So what I wanted to do was kind of revamp my channel and have just kind of like a bullshit session, a live video podcast, if you will, on stuff that kind of makes us tick. So retro gaming, music, pop culture, all that type of stuff. And what we wanted to kick off episode 1 on is retro gaming, because it's kind of hot in the news right now. Video gaming in general, violence in video games, politicians are getting involved, the whole 9 yards. So we wanted to touch base on that. Now, something I'm pretty active on Twitter, and BSing with other retro gamers and even YouTubers on Twitter. Something that was brought to my attention is what exactly is retro gaming, and to me, it's anything that's really 25 years or older.
Right.
And the reason why I put that number on it is because in the state of Arizona, you see these cars that drive around with these historic license plates.
The classic cars.
The classic cars, historic vehicles. And one of the stipulations to get that plate on your car is it has to be 25 years or older.
Yep. And
I kind of look at that with retro gaming. I saw somebody post the other day. They now granted they're only like 20. I think they were about 22 years old. And they were saying, hey, I'm retro gaming today, and they were posting them playing the Nintendo Wii, right? And I'm like, really? Is the Wii
retro gaming?
Yeah, is the Wii considered retro gaming? Because the Nintendo Wii came out in 2006,
which was like 13 or 14 years ago.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
And that may have been that person's first console, right? But to me, it's not. I would classify that as mid-school gaming. I grew up with, my first console was the Atari 2600. The what was yours?
It wasn't that one. Mine was the first Nintendo that ever came out, and probably got that.
The NES.
The NES
in the States,
right?
Yeah. The Famicom in Japan.
Right, and I didn't even get it probably until later on, maybe late 80s, early 90s, probably. Right,
and same here. Like we wanted a Nintendo. That was the hot shit. It hit the States in '85, and we got the Atari late. We got the Atari used. I want to say in like '86, '87. I remember my dad came home with it, and he bought it used off to some guy at work, and he had 3 games with it. He had Joust, Defender, and Atari Football. And I still love those games to this day.
Joust is fun. I've never played the other 2.
Right. Oh, Joust is awesome on any system.
It's hard.
It's hard.
So hard.
And those games were just based on points. The screen really never changed.
Right.
It was all points.
Right.
We wanted a Nintendo. The Nintendo was out, but it was just out of our price reach at the time. So we didn't get a Nintendo until like 88, 89, I want to say. Probably 88. I remember one of the first games I got brand new, walking into Toys R Us, and Nintendo games were $50 back then. Fucking Contra, Konami with the up, down, left, right, BA start, 30 guys.
Right.
Love that fucking excellent soundtrack.
I saw something about that just on Twitter.
Oh man, I love Contra to this day. That is retro gaming to me. And somebody else stated too that retro gaming is starting to kind of fizzle out. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about. If anything, it's at a peak.
No, and I agree, because
I mean, it's going up.
They have the arcade 1-ups. We have one.
Right.
Those are something that are out within, what, a year or 2 or something?
I want to say they come out last year.
Yeah, something so very new. And to me, that's super retro. You have Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, right? And Galaga, those types of things. It's not like those are very new games. Those are very old games.
Yeah, they're tapping into the old school stuff, which is awesome. Because like 5 years ago, if you would have said to somebody, hey, and I'm not talking main cabinets. I'm not talking like barcades and stuff, the bar top arcades. I'm talking legit licensed arcade machines.
The big full size.
One game on the machine, maybe 2.
Right.
$3,000 it costs for those. I looked into. I wanted to get the Mrs. Pac-Man Galaga combo from Chicago Gaming, coin operated, the whole 9 yards. $3,000. I think I found one used for like $2,500, and you could pick up an arcade one-up for like, I've seen them as low as $200, $350 if you get like the deluxe models with the risers, and they're badass. They're arcade, authentic license.
They're super fun.
Yeah, they're stupid light. I think they weigh like 50 pounds. And you can move them anywhere. Now, basically, it's particle board.
Right.
A lot of people are calling them like IKEA
put together
furniture builds, right?
Yeah,
but they're stupid fun. Another thing too is we got all these emulators that are coming out. These classics. Like NES came out with the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, and they were huge hits, like sold out.
When we went even to go look for them, we couldn't find them for months.
We couldn't find them.
We went to 100 stores.
Yes, right. We finally got them. And now they're sold out again, as far as I know. I haven't seen them.
They are?
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're starting to become a little bit more scarce. But Sega is coming out with theirs. And I'm not talking that bullshit one AT Games came out with. AT Games released, or At Games, they released one a while back, and I think it was like 80 games or something like that. And some of the games didn't even make sense. There was tic-tac-toe on it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But the emulation was poor, the controls were poor, the frickin' sound was all over the place.
Right.
Sega's releasing theirs, and the emulation is done by M2, which is, they are like, when you hear emulation, M2 is like the go-to powerhouse. Theirs comes out in September, and then Konami announced at E3 that they're doing a TurboGrafx 16,
which is pretty cool.
And I was stoked on that because I owned one of those too for a short period of time back in I want to say like in the early '90s. I had one, and they announced 57 games, and one of those games that really hit me was Splatterhouse.
Right.
I was a huge
I've never
Splatterhouse
played that,
fan.
so I'm kind of excited to see what that's about.
Huge Splatterhouse fan. But like back on the topic of that, retro gaming being 25 years or older, the Sony came out with a PlayStation Classic that just bombed. Now Sony, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Their PlayStation came out in '95, which makes it 24 years old, right? So yeah, we'll say it's retro gaming, right? Anything, right. And the N64 came out in '96, so that's on the brink of that retro gaming. I'll even allow that. But like, I mean, yeah, the Wii guys, the Wii, seriously, that's mid school. I'm gonna say that's mid. We're gonna call it mid school.
Give it another
gaming.
10 years.
Another 10 years.
And then we could probably talk.
If they're still making games for the system, it's not retro, because at E3 they announced Just Dance like 2020, and they're releasing it on the Wii. Like,
well, I got a Wii not that well. It's been actually quite some time, but it doesn't seem like that long ago. And I would never have considered that retro gaming. I would have considered my Nintendo. Retro gaming, but not the Wii.
Game Boy, all the way. The Game Boy came out in '89. For handheld gaming, I would consider that retro. The DS, no. Even though the DS originally came out in '04, which makes it older than the Wii. The original DS, not the 3DS.
Okay, right.
The original DS, but they still have a platform for it, the 3DS, and that's still in production. You could go to Walmart or Target and buy brand new 3DS games. I just don't like this coining of retro gaming. It's got to be, to me, I'm just saying, it's got to be 25 years older.
Yeah,
for it to be considered retro.
That. Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying that these systems aren't cool. I mean, we got a Wii.
We do.
We still have our DSs.
Yep.
I had the original Xbox.
We still have an Atari.
We're still rocking the Atari. I love my Atari. It's just something about Atari. But and Atari too. They're coming out with a new system.
For me, the Atari is like the ultimate retro gaming.
Yeah, you don't get much older than that. I mean, you have ColecoVision and Intellivision.
What's the one that you said you had where you and your brother would turn it on go eat dinner, and then when you finally came back, it would be ready to start up?
That was the Commodore 64.
Is that older than the Atari?
It might be. No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up. Look out what year the Commodore came out. But the Commodore 64 was a computer, and it ran floppy disks and all that stuff. But yeah, that thing took forever to boot up.
I never seen one of those either.
Yeah, we boot it up, let it do its thing, and all this other shit. We'd go make dinner or some shit, and then go back to it. Yeah, what you got?
It came out in 1982.
82. Yeah. Still.
So it's not as old as the Atari.
Right. Yeah, the 2600 at least.
Right.
Now, another thing I want to talk about that kind of struck a nerve with me is if you follow USA News. So here in the States, there was 2 mass shootings over the weekend.
Yes.
Which it's just horrible because this is happening all the time. There
at
was
a
one
Walmart?
At a Walmart in
El Paso.
Texas.
Yep.
And then there was another one the next day in Dayton, Ohio.
Yes.
I don't know where that one was at.
I'm not sure either, to be honest.
But because anytime there's a mass shooting, it makes national news. It might even make world news. I don't know. But immediately people have questions. Why is this happening? Why is this happening?
They have to blame something.
And they gotta blame something. And right now the blame is going towards video games, which pisses me off because they have nothing. Like back in the 80s, anytime there was like, a kid killed his parents, they fucking blame Ozzy. Mm-hmm. Ozzy, I remember seeing Ozzy on the news all the time. Oh, listen to his lyrics and this and this shit. You'd hear all this crap about heavy metal music and death metal music. Oh, blame that.
Right, he's the devil. I mean, look at everything that he did.
Yeah, and like back then, I think even Walmart
worshipped the devil.
Yeah, Walmart pulled all this shit off their shelves. Oh, we ain't gonna sell this, blah blah. There's no fucking proof that you know what I'm saying. Now you don't hear that. He's still recording. He's still touring.
He's still the same old Ozzy that he was.
Yeah.
That many years ago.
Nobody's pointing fingers at Ozzy anymore.
He's
so
just
then they moved.
Older.
They moved to music. Or I mean, movies.
Movies.
To start blaming movies. So now they're blaming video games.
To blame
it's like, video games are too violent, and this, that, and the other. So a YouTuber that I follow and I absolutely love his channel is RGT85. If you haven't checked out his channel, search RGT85. He's kind of like my go-to guy for gaming news. Posts 2-3 times a day on his channel. He's very he's quick onto the news. He doesn't dilly-dally around. But RGT pointed out that Walmart pulled all their gaming advertising.
Well, we noticed this the other day when we went to go look for the Friday the 13th game because we went there looking for it. I went and grabbed him. I'm like, where's the Friday the 13th game? I can't find it. He helped me look for it. The little sticker was gone.
Yep.
And then we found out they had pulled it.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're doing this everywhere, but in Arizona, we went to 2 stores, and Friday the 13th's been out for a minute. So it's not like it's a new game and it's sold out. It's been out for a while. And the reason why we didn't buy it is because I didn't feel like spending $60 on it when it came out. So I'm like, oh, cool. It's down to $29. Let's check it out. I've seen a lot of views on it, and it's making its way to the Switch. So like, let's pick up a copy for the Xbox One.
I think it would be just a lot of fun to have.
So we went looking for it. All of a sudden, it's gone.
Grand Theft Auto
was gone, and that's an old game too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there wasn't even a SKU for it.
No.
And there used to be in the glass case at Walmart. I'm like, dude, they fucking pulled it.
They pulled it. Here's what blows my mind. So you're pulling the games that have violence. But Red Dead Redemption, okay? We've talked about this in the past between you and I.
Right.
That one is just as bad as...
And it just doesn't get the attention.
Right, because
That's
you
the
look
problem.
at the cover,
you look at the cover,
like
you got
a cowboy.
Right, you got the Clint Eastwood cover.
Yeah.
And to somebody who's naive to games, they just overlook it. But Grand Theft Auto, and then of course Jason's been around since 1980.
Right.
And they know he's a psychopathic killer with a hockey mask and a machete. Boop, yank it.
Right. He's the one that's caused, or he's a part.
Right.
One
And
of the games.
it pisses me off because like they have nothing
to do.
They wanted a quick answer, like blame video games. Politicians are blaming video games being too violent. And now granted, the shooting happened at a Walmart. the one in Texas.
Sure, so I could probably see why they pulled it, being that it happened in a Walmart. We were in a Walmart, they pulled them off their shelves.
But still, that's it's almost admitting fault. Another thing too.
So then Walmart should pull all of their horror movies.
Right. Yeah. So that's like the thing. Like, let's just say tomorrow, Arizona has 1,500 car accidents. Are they going to pull Forza? Oh no, this game promotes driving.
Right. People are driving down the I-10 at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah. So
it's
it
because
just doesn't
of the video games.
What about this? God forbid one of these shootings happen, right? And they catch the guy, because usually they end up killing him.
Sure.
Yeah,
right.
He goes down in a blaze of glory with bullets and all this other stuff.
Death by police. Yeah.
But let's just say for one time it happens, they capture the guy, they sit him down in a two-way mirror room, and they say, "Why did you do this?" And he's like, I put a shit ton of money on the Chicago Bears, and they didn't make the playoffs, so I fucking lost my mind.
Now they're gonna start blaming football.
You gonna blame football? It won't happen. It won't happen.
No.
They're going to start taking the John Madden games off the shelf. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's an easy out for these people.
It's just something to blame.
Right.
When if you look at our country, USA, compared to the other countries, they don't have the mass shootings that we have, but they have the same access to the video games.
Right.
And the video game community that we do here.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think it's bullshit. We need to stop just...
No, I agree.
It gets me heated about this. And one of the hashtags that's floating around Twitter is video games are not to blame. Hashtag video games are not to blame. So if you've seen that hashtag, or you can search it, you'll see people fighting this kind of like we are. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, as a normal guy, I work in an office. I get up at 6:30 in the morning. I shoot out to work. I'm at work all day. I get off at 5. Time I get home with traffic, it's 5:30, 5:45. So I've been gone 12, 13 hours of the day. I want to sit down, crack open a beer at the end of the night, and I want to play some fucking Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? And now you're going to tell me I can't?
Yeah, right.
Because, it's too violent? Right? It's just an easy out. It's really a total easy out. So, I lost my train of thought.
No, it's just the fact that they are blaming the blame that is being placed on the video games. It's just insane. They've always got to blame something. So they moved on from music to movies. Now it's music. Next couple of years, it'll be something else.
It's whatever's popular.
It is whatever's popular.
There was supposed to be a big gaming tournament. Like, there's a gaming expo going on right now in Phoenix this weekend. And there's a gaming tournament. I don't know where it's held, but it was like one of these like Fortnite style ones where there's a big prize at the end. And they actually came out and said, "Hey, we're postponing it till October. Out of respect
for the shootings.
The right?
People, yeah.
And that's great. I get that. But
Absolutely.
at the same time, they're admitting fault in a way. They're basically saying, "Oh shit, this is," you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. That tournament had nothing to do with the shooting.
Or they could just be looking at it like, because people are blaming video games, they're
right,
respecting
and
their thoughts.
we don't want to have bad taste and all this other stuff. I mean, but that's just, to me, it's still ridiculous.
No, I agree with you.
It just kills me. But another thing too is I wanted to talk about local arcades and barcades. We have a barcade out here. And I'm not talking like your Dave & Buster's and stuff like that.
Adults, you have to be 21.
You got to be 21 or older to walk in there. So it's an actual bar, but it's got all the retro games. These are popping up left and right. One of the ones that we went to is Cobra Arcade in downtown Phoenix. They actually opened up a second location in Tucson.
Oh, I had no idea. That's cool.
So, I mean, you guys are going to Tucson tomorrow. See if you can look it up. It might be right around the corner where you're at. But I absolutely love this, and I think it's a great idea. That's something I want to do in the future one day. It's like, man, if I ever hit the lottery,
right.
Man,
gotta play it to win it.
I'm gonna open up a barcade that's gonna be badass. But so that's another thing too, is I want to kind of on this channel kind of hit up some of these different retro arcades and get some footage and kind of promote the scene, because we need more of this. The chains like Dave & Buster's are cool because you grab a beer and go play these games.
But you have so many children
you got
there,
so many
and it's
kids
screaming
around.
kids.
Right.
And no offense to kids, love kids, but sometimes you just want to have an adult night.
Right. And they do sometimes cater to that. They have like special events that go on, but it's a lot of new stuff too, and it's a lot of ticket redemption games, which that's for the kids. I could give a rat's ass about ticket redemption games. I want to go sit down and I want to play fucking Galaga. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or shit like that.
But the tickets are kind of cool though. You know, even if you're not there on a night with your kid or something, you can save those tickets, bring your kid another night, and redeem them.
Yeah.
So
it's like
how much
for that pencil eraser?
$100.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it just cost me $32 for an eraser. You know. But yeah, so that's a couple things I want to do too. Another thing I want to do is I have done giveaways on this channel before, mainly for like band stuff. The giving away my EPs and T-shirts. I've given away Hot Rod Johnny gear and all that stuff. I do want to have giveaways on this channel. We are going to do some pretty dope giveaways once the channel kind of builds up. So this is almost like a trial run for us. We're doing this in 1080. Eventually, I'd like to do it in 4K. We're using the Blue Snowball mic, and hopefully the audio sounds pretty decent with this. Maybe eventually bump this up to Yeti, or maybe 2 mics. I'm going to have basically guests on here too. My boy Keith Williams will be on the channel. This guy is a pop culture nut and a Nike
this kid in his shoes, he's probably
this guy is
how
a
many
Nike
do you have, like
expert.
100 pairs of shoes?
Yeah, I think he's got like 100 pair of Nikes.
Yeah.
Well, dope cat, man. You'll meet him on this channel. I have my son on this channel, the whole 9 yards. So if you haven't already, hit me up on Twitter. I got my handles right here. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, and come shoot the shit with us. And you got topic ideas, anything you want to hear us rant, rave about, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
let me know.
Talk with us.
So we can kind of build the channel up and just make it better and better and better. And another thing too is the Facebook for you.
Yes.
I forgot about that. I'm not on Facebook. I can't stand it. Honestly, I hate Facebook. But if you want to tell them your Facebook.
It's Crystal Allen. I may have to open it up. I had shut it
Did you shut it down?
I didn't shut it down, but I made it to where you had to be a friend of mine to find me.
Yeah.
Just because of the type of job that I'm in. But I could open it back up.
Yeah, that's totally up to you. I just wanted to get a Facebook on the channel.
Yeah, we'll do mine. That's fine.
But if you don't want to do it,
yeah, no, we can open it. We'll make it, and then our next video, I'll make sure I know for sure what it is.
What I'll do is in the description of this video, I'll put her Facebook on there. So that's it. We're gonna wrap it up and not make this too long. So hopefully catch you guys in the future, and until next time, man.
Cool. Bye.
Peace.